morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this white, wonderful world. How is everybody doing today? We are back and we are going crazy. I think looking at the numbers, I think we should take a month off because we already have 30 people watching this.
That's amazing.
It's
Welcome,
awesome.
everybody.
Well, today I'm going to give Ruff
Fantastic.
all the credit. He's got the guests lined up, and now I've met Colin. We played, me and Andrew had played some, and Colin jumped in. But Ruff, I want to thank you for inviting Colin on because Colin's got a really good product coming out, and I'm excited about it, particularly the Falklands aspect of that. So it's gonna be cool. So, Ruff,
well, anything with the paras, I'm sorry, God bless them.
Oh, I forgot to bring the book down. I'll grab that in a little bit. I've got a book that I recommend very highly. It was recommended to me by our friend. Was that Chris that he had passed away? He was a veteran, and
Chris, yes, poor old Chris. Yeah.
So I do want to get that. I do want to get that. So Ruff, how you've been? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been great to be back. My chilies were doing fantastic, and then suddenly the weather changed, and it was raining and windy, and so I'm not happy chappy. But they're all starting to flower,
day in England.
Fruit, But anyway.
So rainy chilly is a normal day in England.
It is, yes.
Then didn't it get really hot there?
It got silly hot, and people was going, "Oh, it's the hottest." But no, 1976 was hotter. But anyway, we had a few days of that. That's how summer gone. Met Colin at PunchCon. We had a great time at PunchCon. Got a few bits and pieces I'm going to show you that I bought. I did put a picture up on Command Post. Played Fields of Fire with Thomas and Colin. And then
we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
When Thomas went away, anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Did it go pear-shaped when Thomas walked away?
I thought I'm in safe hands. I've got Colin, the designer, the developer here of the deluxe edition. We'll be fine. Anyway, I'll let him tell you about that. Anyway.
All right, and our resident historian and PhD candidate Nate. By the way, real quick dissertation update.
Half done. I'm editing the half right now, and hopefully I'll be finished with that by the end of June, and then start the next half in July, and hopefully everything will be done by Christmas.
Are you actually getting any work done now that the game that we shall not mention that you are obsessed with is on your set?
Let's put it this way. I took a good brain break from research to enjoy the joys of Thunderbolt. But life is good.
Yep, good. And so what I want to do now is we're going to introduce Colin. Colin is the developer designer of Fields of Fire 3. What are you, developer designer? How does that, I kind of both in some ways?
So technically I'm the designer, yeah. And Andrew's the developer on it. So I'm not sure where Andrew is. He's in the future, tomorrow in Japan, but obviously earlier clock in Japan. He might join us in a bit.
Hey, Jester.
Yeah, I sent him a link. So, but no, and we've got to play. You jumped on one of the sessions that me and Andrew did, which trying to get that scheduled was always good. It was either really late at night at my place or really early in the morning. We did that well. Yeah. Well, with term being over with, I already reached out to him so we could do some Falkland Islands playthroughs on there. He said that'd be great. So. Yep. With term ending school, it's
very
good.
Sorry, chaps, I need to comment on that. That's quite true. That beer dragons one before the one below that.
Highest temperature.
No, below the highest temperature.
Oh, okay. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah,
Ruff, you got a mouse. You can do stuff.
I know, but I click and you do clicking and we click together. So that was on a RAF tarmac runway. 30 seconds after they recorded it, after the jet took off.
So was it really?
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, so that doesn't surprise me.
False data.
Yep,
that's the BBC for you. Hello, everyone.
Yep.
That can't give them pressure though.
So I will have to say I did get a few things in. Wow, every time I think I get to the bottom of the comments. Like another person says hi. And
I know it's crazy. What do we got?
It's crazy. We love you guys. So I actually got Old School Tactical Battle for France. So this is volume 5. I've got all the volumes, and then Battle for Poland came with it, so I'm kind of interested in this module.
I hear you, Dragon X. I can believe that in Cyprus. It's frigging hot over there. Yes, I get you.
And then Nate, I did pick up.
Oh, excellent!
Trench foot. He's got trench foot.
I did pick that up.
That's a good
and then
one.
I got two games that most people have never heard of, so this will be interesting. Some battle that happened in Perry in
wait a minute. We don't talk about the Civil War on this show.
Which Civil War?
Which Civil War? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've had two of them.
And then,
anyway.
Yeah, I did get.
Excellent.
I did get that one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for mine.
They're still in shrink. I have not had time to even open them and Google them. So
anyway,
for me.
I'll show you
it's been a little busy.
Oh God, you have been. I'll show you what I got. I think I did put a picture up, but this thing, Colin, remember this?
Very good. Yeah, enjoyed that. Apart from I was rubbish at it.
Thomas denies the fact, but the guys at Second Chance Games said this was one of the hits of the convention, and it's a fantastic game. You said you're spinning around with these planes. He did have these excellently 3D printed planes from the 30s, done by the I think it's Eastern European, the World Aviation 3D printer. But we played this. This is fantastic, and Thomas has told me that they've got a sort of deluxe version of it, and with a spiral-bound rule book and all the stuff printed in it. So when that turns up, I'll do a lovely unboxing for that. I got Phantom Fury from PunchCon. Also got this for a tenner.
Oh, nice.
For Ambush, a tenner unpunched. There you go. Yeah, you won. Yeah, you've got a copy of that. And
now, is it? Can you shoot each other down at all? Is there like any?
There is a variant which turns it into a war game where you can have guns and things mounted on them, so you chase.
Oh, that would be definitely a good drinky punch or a con game.
Thomas gave me his second copy of this because he thought he'd lost the first. I've been after this for yonks. I love this game. It's nonsense. It's silly. It's easy.
Did you make your own copy?
I made my own copy. I mean, I've still got it here. That was
during the pandemic, right? When you were
I made my own copy, but I now got the original one, and I swapped tweez for this. I swapped.
Taiwan, yeah, nice.
Yeah, wow. So I've got them all, and the only thing that's turned up from P500.
You're getting a ton.
Yeah, this is how far behind. I said I wasn't going to buy anything, didn't I?
Well, it's been a month, so it wouldn't look as bad if we were to do it weekly.
Only 500 that I've got that's turned up. Look, and that turned up over.
Oh, you got that one? Okay.
Months ago. Yeah, it takes so long. So I've got.
But rumors have it, Ruff still needs to round his first lap. Did you take your time getting around?
Do you know what? It's great fun. It's easy to play. You've got your cards, and you put down what you think you're going to use, and the highest number wins, sort of thing. But you've got little counters that you can add to make that number bigger. And do you save all your cards because you keep getting cards, and you've got to try and win the. It's easy to play. I'll go through it when I do the unboxing. But yeah, one of the hits of the convention. Yep. And on the table,
I will say Dragon X. Yep. The only Next War series, the only problem with the solo part is when you're doing the air combat against each other, because you can change how many planes go against it. But other than that, it's pretty solitaire friendly. So if you can get through that, it's not a problem.
You can house rule it, can't you?
Let me jump in real quick. Yeah, let me jump in real quick and share. I forgot to mention, I did get 2 games in the month that we were off. I got the Mighty Endeavor, the deluxe edition of it. So
I got that. I played that. That's a good game. That's a good game.
Yeah, it was watching Wise Guy History's playthrough from Nathan from Wise Guy History on YouTube here playing it that convinced me to get it. And then because War and Peace is one of my favorite games, Sure.
Oh, by the way, I can't click on anything. Did you make me live as well?
Yeah. I added you on there.
I can't click on anything.
Okay.
Well, because
War and Peace break something.
Hold on, let me just try.
Because War and Peace is one of my favorite games. I also picked up Mr. Lincoln's War, which is the War and Peace system, but in the American Civil War. So this should be fun to play. I'm playing it with my group of gaming buddies right now, and we're enjoying it.
All right, Colin. I know you're the designer of Fields of Fire, but what else?
Do you want to see a game? Do you want to see a game I bought this month?
Yeah.
Go on, then. Yes, Colin.
Look at that. It's a 1960s.
I was going to say that's an old game.
Wow.
Isn't it?
I had it when I was little, and I've had a big thing recently of buying loads of stuff on eBay, like just reliving my youth, buying all the games I used to have. And it's fantastic. I've been playing loads of it.
Yeah.
I've even made a Vassal module for it yesterday.
Oh, really? See, you're talented like that with the whole Vassal module and everything. It's awesome. So what other games do you play now? Like you're designing, so you probably play a lot of Fields of Fire, I'm assuming, as things go through. Yes. But sometimes you got to take a break. What else do you play? Like, and especially if you're finding games from your youth, what else are you looking at? What else games do you play?
Yeah, so mostly solitaire stuff because I've not got any friends.
Same here.
Yeah, we're all right there. Yep.
Yeah, and mostly stuff on Vassal. So I've got a few bits. I've been playing a little bit of SOE Lysander, the Thomas Van Hare one. Things. That is nails. Thomas did say it's difficult for a non-pilot to actually get to France and back safely, and I've not managed it yet.
He says play it like a pilot, so things get a bit hairy, turn back.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to push forward. Did you play Sabutio?
I did when I was little. Yeah. I had loads and loads.
Me too.
What else to play? I've got that. Yeah, I've sorry, I'm just gonna have to look at my. I've got a new laptop, so I've lost all my big list of Vassal stuff. But yeah, I just play lots of stuff.
I always hate that when you get a new.
I've got Trent Trade.
Oh, nice.
I quite enjoy. Yeah.
I can't wait. I've opened it and looked at it, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice small footprint. I think I'm gonna go with the print out the sheets, the individual sheets, instead of using the
dry erase.
Yeah, the dry erase, because
that's the biggest footprint, or the dry erase thing. So I'd probably prefer to run it. I don't know, spreadsheet in the background, some tips on or something.
Yeah.
Sorry about
last time I played it, it was somebody tripped over a unexploded bomb, and well, that was the end of him.
Sorry about that. I could hear Mrs. Ruff clicking her fingers. And I thought that's usually the way she tries to attract my attention, but I look around and no, she's trying to get the dog's attention. So
okay, so you're about the level of the dog when she's trying to get
of course. Yeah. And also, I call that for some reason I call that game, which I want to get eventually, Trenchfoot. Just for some reason I can't get it out. I call it Trenchfoot.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. Once I get done with, I'm playing Habsburg Eclipse. Once I get done with that, I'm going to throw that on the table and do a raid and see how it goes.
Nice. Glad you like it.
Yeah.
I used to be very into sort of hex and counter stuff, in my youth. I played lots of squad leader before ASL and loads of other stuff. But I can't do it anymore with Fields of Fire being so unique. I just find I can't just move big stacks of counters around next to each other anymore. I find it really, I don't know. I just can't bring myself to do it. So I play a lot of sort of other things. I like, like things like Wolfpack and Atlantic. Thingy.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Wolfpack. So you like the little bit of the heavier of the solitaire games. You like some crunch to your solitaire games. Yeah. I like I do like the States of Siege games. They're pretty light when it comes down to it, which is I'm fine with that. It's really good. But the one thing that I want to do is you can combine Habsburg Eclipse and Ottoman Sunset together as one big gigantic game. I was hoping that I can actually do that. That's one of my goals, is to actually get that done. Ruff decides to mess with his computer and hit the wrong button.
I can't click on anything. I'm trying to.
The squirrels in his computer weren't moving fast enough.
It kicked me. Yeah, I can't click on the chat.
Really? Okay. Well, I do have you set up to live on your
it's
channel.
Weird.
So
when I signed in, a new screen came up, and
it's been a month since we've gotten on, so things have changed. So
it could have been I need to log in or something. Anyway.
Now, Colin, have you? I was playing this about a month ago and finished. It's a long solitaire game. Have you played Mr. President?
I've not. I find games like that. I'd be tempted with the sort of Steam one. I do a lot of sort of gaming.
Oh,
on Steam.
okay, yeah.
All games like that. I need hints now. I don't think I've got the brain space to.
It's huge as
I'll
well.
move this over here.
I'll be
move
honest
this over
with
here.
you.
Huge.
I have
It's a table
I
hog.
have the Steam version and I have the other version. The nice thing about the Steam version, it takes 2 seconds to set up. While if you actually set it up on your table, you're like, it's going to be about an hour or so to set it up. So, and it's the computer game is exactly the same as the board game. So it's pretty cool. We do have a question.
Before I forget, lock and load, everyone. Glad to be back. Good.
I gotta finish. I was out climbing, so I'm a little low on electrolytes. So I'll finish this and then I'll go grab a beer. But do you play RAF, Colin?
I did a long time ago. I played whenever it came out.
Was that the
80s, 90s kind of touch?
Yeah.
And I did have a dabble with it again on Vassal. Recently, I played one once. It's good. Yeah, I enjoy Wolfpack Night. It's good.
Yep. Yeah. So
this is the good thing. This is a good thing. Like Mike will play everything and anything. He's mad. You being designing with a lot of time and effort put into Fields of Fire 3, still play other games. It's great to, you're not focused down on just the one thing. Brilliant. Other games out there that we can enjoy.
Try to. I spend a lot of time, a lot of my life dabbling and tweaking the Vassal module as well. But
now the one thing
I get a little annoyed by that because every time I log on, there's a new value. There's a new Vassal volume on that. So yeah, I get that. I'm like, I thought I got the last one, and then like for a while there when we were playing. I was like, Andrew's like, oh, I got to give you the new one. Oh, I got every time we started, I had to give him a new one.
There are a few patch fixes that needed to go out on a couple when you're doing those. But
both Ruff and Tony, Ruff and Tony know this. I'll be interested in our conversation today because one of the reasons I don't have Fields of Fire. I've never played.
You need to convince him. Right? He doesn't think he wants a map.
No.
It's not a map.
Right. It's the one thing that gets me is the lack of a map. I'm a map person. As you can see, I got a map here. So I love maps. I'm a history guy, so I stare at maps all day long. So I'm curious during our conversation about how the game plays and everything with the variable terrain cards and everything else like that. So. Yeah, this will be an exciting conversation because the airborne is it's just fascinating. It's a fascinating topic. Of course, I'm a little biased because I'm an American, so I do like the Utah Beach airborne, but the British Red Devils though is pretty fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot. So. We're not bound to doing sort of 3 campaigns per box kind of thing, but that's the way we've gone with this one again. But yeah, choosing the 3 was quite hard actually because there's lots that we could have done. I was even thinking of Suez at one point. Because that was live drop and all the rest of it. There was one in North Africa which I still quite like to do, Udna, which I think was 42, maybe 41, which. The parachute regiment, 2nd Battalion, dropped onto an airfield.
I tell you what, Colin, expansions.
Yeah. It take a long time though. We got so much on.
I bet they do.
Yeah, and but that'd be quite an interesting one because they dropped on an airfield that I think had turned out to be empty when they got there and basically fought. I think it was a 50 or 60 mile fighting withdrawal, sort of being chased by sort of armor and sort of air all the way across. Chianti.
So I just like to show people because I always drink red wine on the Saturday on the show. And sorry, carry on. Sorry.
But yeah, so and then Falklands is sort of fairly unique, I think. It was nice to be able to do Afghanistan. I wasn't going to do Arnhem originally, but then Andrew convinced me that we can't do the Paras without doing Arnhem, which is probably the right decision. So,
he's gone.
Tony's done that.
Boy.
But yeah, the map. So we do have a map of sorts in Arnhem. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I was going to say. I hope you brought some bits and pieces. Well, I'm not sure I can share. Well, I'll try because I can't click on the things. I can't do this anyway. Have a go. Have you got it up and push the share button down the bottom there? It's a little plus monitor.
Screen with a plus.
Yeah.
Okay. I can try. So what else I've got now?
If not, we'll have to wait to see if Tony comes back. He's had a power cut.
I'm just seeing what I've got. I'm trying to find. Am I going to be able to share the actual screen and Vassal and stuff? Because I've got stuff on.
Try something.
Try something.
Get it up and push that button and get it. You know, it will say, "Do you want this page? Do you want this or whatever?" I think.
Yeah, it's just not showing me the.
Yeah, Dragon X, I'm with you on there. I'm that's why I'm curious.
I'll have a go in a minute. The screen.
Share screen. You click it and it says share screen.
Yeah, I've got that.
And then it will come up. It's all, I think, since we've been on.
It only wants to share my browser though. Window,
yeah, in a window.
Yeah, there's like a tab, window, then entire screen.
I've got entire screen. Let's try that.
I'm back. I hope it works now. All of a sudden, my computer went. Crazy.
Yeah, this StreamYard's been changed out of all recognition. There we go.
There we go.
Can you see that? Can you see the that's Arnold?
Yeah.
Can you see the map? Yeah. So again, mate, this is as close to a map as it gets in.
That looks like a map.
It does, yeah. So this is 50 cards. I can zoom in. These are the this is done by Mark Mahaffey, the art on here.
And this is a preset map. This is what you actually put out. Some of the scenarios in Fields of Fire, you have a map you have to put out that doesn't change. Is that right?
Yeah. So most of the Fields of Fire in all the volumes are random, and you get told you've got to lay out a 4x3 grid of cards or whatever. But obviously with Arnhem City, you can't do that. This is the bridge down the bottom here in the middle. I don't know if you can see my mouse.
Yep.
And so yeah, but obviously when we're doing the Battle of Arnhem, you can't have sort of random streets suddenly pop up. So it's a map of sorts. But one of the nice things in here is these cards are going to be double-sided. So this is the Vassal module, obviously. But you can collapse all these buildings. So in the game, you'll be flipping these buildings as they get destroyed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. See.
And so. Yeah, so by the end of the
you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to convince me.
Yeah. So by the end of the campaign, you there's not much left of the city, which is quite cool. What else is new on here? So it's the urban stuff in Fields of Fire. It's as complicated as it gets, but it's manageable. And also in this volume, we've got how many pages? 30 odd page sort of training pamphlet on how to do urban warfare. Again, lots of examples, lots of sort of pictures, lots of walkthroughs that you can follow through. In fact, show you this. You've got the
so there is an example of play to kind of walk you through it.
The deluxe version, the original volume, deluxe version, it's got 2 booklets of tutorials.
Cool. Well, we got 3 in this one.
Right.
But yeah, so that's
so it might be heavier than both Thunderbolt and or Gettysburg. So those are
am I back?
So.
Yeah. It works. It works.
Yeah. So that's as mappy as it gets. But the other one, I think it's actually a real strength of the series. I'm a big map fan myself as well. I was military and I've done a lot of orienteering, and I do like a good map. But it's actually the sort of randomness of it is again, it's Ben. I'm not sure Ben's on the call. I think he was planning to. It's Ben's system, and it's very, very clever. It makes it incredibly replayable. You'll literally never play the same scenario twice, even if you keep. I know there are people who play sort of Normandy, the first mission of Normandy, over and over and over again because they like it, and it's just different every time. So I just want to read Stuka.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, actually.
So the other campaigns, there's the first couple of missions of Arnhem are random. There's another deck that isn't the city. It's like in the outskirts on the approach sort of past Oosterbeek.
Okay.
And then Falklands is random, but with a few cards placed, because there's obviously in the Goose Green there was the big ridge of Darwin Hill halfway along the battlefield. So you can't have a random map when you don't actually attack over a hill going up Goose Green. So there's a smaller deck of hill cards that are all random types of terrain on. And so in the setup, it will say, put a line of hills on row 4, and then everything else is random. So you'll get there's not much cover at Goose Green. It's a lot of sort of bare ass ground and a few small folds in the ground and a bit of gorse bushes and things. And then again, Afghanistan's similar. There are two decks. There's a desert deck and a green zone deck. Okay. And so the maps will say lay out a 4x4 map, but this half's desert and this half's green zone kind of thing. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
the enemies are always random, even if you. I'm assuming that they're always random because you're doing potential contacts. So
the enemies are always random. Yeah, so even in the city, it's they're generated. The way it's driven, they come in on certain entry points which are historical, either along the river or came in through the north. But yeah, the packages that will appear are different. The way they behave when they're on the map are different. It's very good.
It is such a. Sorry, I keep saying it's such a great game. Up there, I love me Jerry White stuff with his rules and everything. And this is of the same thing where they you walk through an idiot like me, and I can understand what's going on, how the chain of command works. What happens when you do this? Once they move off, they've lost contact with their CO, and they have to get initiative to do their own thing and all that. It's a brilliant game. But then everybody's playing it again. Tweez is playing it. I've got it on the table. Grantos and other YouTubers playing it.
Yeah, it's a command and control simulator, really. In a way, it's a very good representation. Having tried to command blokes, it's a very good sort of simulation of how they're really hard to control when they do their own thing.
And they won't do what they're told to do, even on their own initiative.
Yeah, you spend a lot of the time. I mean, I don't know. It might be the only war game around that there's no open fire command at all. You can't ever tell your people to open fire. They just do it on their own initiative,
and they don't stop unless you tell them to.
I was saying so actually you spend more time trying to stop people firing and telling them to fire in a different direction than starting them. So.
Well, how many times in a movie do you hear them yelling ceasefire and it takes like 5 minutes for everybody to stop firing, or whatever. Yeah. So, and I know that's
and the bloke shouting ceasefire, and the bloke shouting ceasefire gets the right ump when nobody's taking any notice of him. It's
but again, in their defense, the guys are right down the line.
Yeah,
think they've got somebody in front of them, and they're not going to cease fire because they're trying to kill them. So it's a real difficult.
And if it's an empty card and they have been destroyed by somebody else, they don't know because the cards are they represent a certain area, so they just keep firing because there was somebody there. They might still be there, so you've got to tell them to stop and shift fire and all that. It's brilliant. It
simulates fog of war very well.
Yeah. I'm going to probably get back to the Naktung River Snare campaign. I started that. Unfortunately, my laptop decided to take a crap on me previously, and I've lost. And because I had finished the whole one. I played a whole scenario, and I had to do the second day because I didn't win, and I don't think you can. So I'm like, okay, well, I took the entire time, put my laptop next to the board, put all the cards out right, put everything where it was. And then I lost it. I'm like, oh, so, but I will say as good as I do enjoy your vassal module, I kind of like playing that one with the cards and stuff. That's one of those things I really like to do. Mainly because the maps are so freaking huge with all the cards that I like to see everything. But the vassal module is phenomenal. It is really, really good. And I have to compliment that. I was thinking about doing, and me and Ruff were kind of jibber jabbing before everybody got on in the green room. I want to kind of do the Fields of Fire Volume 2. I want to do the Peleliu scenario.
Yes.
So
now, Colin, you told me. We'll
do you an update kit.
You told me that I can't use the rules in the deluxe version to play Volume 2.
I didn't tell you that.
You liar! I said, I can use the rules from the deluxe version for Volume 2. You went, no, you can't. Were you winding me up? He said, no, we're going to bring up an update for it. An update.
No. So the rules that are in the deluxe version, the nice 96-page spiral-bound book. So they're the series rules now, and so they will. So people should be using those for Volume 2.
Okay, so I throw this away then.
Oh God, that's an old one. Yeah,
I
Find a
told you
museum-
he'd change
find a
his
museum.
mind. We
Find
had
a
an
museum
in-
for that. But yeah, so the rules, what we need to do with Volume 2 is to give the missions a big overhaul, the campaigns, because there's a few sort of issues and sort of it needs a lot of clarifications in there. But we're part of the way along that already. We've got sort of draft new Volume 2 campaigns. So I keep seeing things I probably should be reading instead of talking.
Oh no,
He
like
doesn't leave them up long enough. You see,
Yeah.
he assumes we're like him. We're educated and we can speed read. We can't do that, can we, Colin?
So anybody playing Fields of Fire now, whatever volume they have, should be using the series rulebook, which is obviously in the deluxe box, or you can get it off the GMT webpage. There will be a series rulebook when we do Volume 2. There'll be a series rulebook in Volume 3.
Will it be the same rulebook?
So the series, so yes, 99.9%.
So anybody can buy a volume and it's self-contained.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Volume 3, the version.
Oh, hello.
All the words. All the words are the same.
Okay. There you go. You're good.
You're back. You went for a bit there.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. So yeah, the rule book in the Volume 3 box will be Britishified to some extent. We're leaving Armor and Color in there, but obviously people who just buy Volume 3 as their first box, all the sort of images of the counters, and there are a lot more pictures of all the British units that they're going to get in their set rather than having a US set.
Really generic photos of everything, because I think the last 100 yards was moaned a bit about when they brought out the Pacific one, that they were still using the German playthrough, things like that. So yeah.
So no, so there will still be examples in there that are from Ardennes or Normandy, but there'll also be sort of Afghanistan and Falklands, and again, same when we redo. In fact, there's some in there already. I think actually in the series already there's one British example in there, I think. But they're going to be the series rules. We were talking, myself and Andrew, in a way, say it's a big rule book. We get a lot of stick, well, not stick for it being heavy and lots of rules. It's 96 pages, but it's more of a reference book. It says it says in the front, don't read any further than this. Just
and as you go through the tutorials, it says now, if you want to read this section, or wait until you finish the tutorials and go back and read it. But we'll tell you enough here to get through.
So
yes, you can play it co-op. The four of us, me, Tony, Tweez and Jester played a co-op, and as Tweez said, Jester was the only platoon commander that threw a grenade on his own little squad. But apart from that, you can play, and it's fun.
Yeah, it is good.
Take a platoon,
So if I'm understanding correctly, the 96-page rulebook could be similar to like Atlantic Chase, where you don't need to. The Atlantic Chase rulebook is really there for whenever you need to reference a specific thing for a specific moment, as opposed to how do I learn the game? I have to go through 96 pages to figure that out.
Yeah, you don't really.
So there's a big chunk. So chapter 13. Chapter 13. That's all the different weapon types. Yeah. So the bit you held up then, there's flamethrowers there. There's no flamethrowers in Volume 1 or Deluxe, but the rules are there. There's a whole chapter on urban warfare, which was really just for Hue originally, and obviously it's now Hue and Arnhem. But if you buy the Deluxe box, you're going to get the series rule book with it in. Yeah. And there's things in there about helicopter assaults, which obviously aren't relevant in Volume 1. Sorry,
not in Vietnam. There is in Vietnam, isn't there?
Yeah. Sorry,
but you don't need it for Normandy.
No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, one of the
there were helicopters on D-Day.
Yeah. God, that would have been nice if you think about it. That could have been really nice to have helicopters on D-Day, but anyway.
Right.
They were around. They were around.
They technically existed.
Yeah, the co-op was fun. Yeah, it was fun because there was three of us running around like headless chickens with all these Japanese guys.
We did the Vietnam scenario, like that first one. So
hidden things. Yeah. throwing grenades.
Yeah, it was a blast. And then me and Andrew did we did the Keep Up the Fire, the kind of standalone scenario, and then we did the first scenario of Heartbreak Ridge. And I took the first 2 platoons, and he took the 3rd platoon plus the executive officers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun because you can separate it that way. If you get 3 players, 1st platoon, 2nd platoon, 3rd platoon, and then we kind of work together with the CO and the XO and the 1st sergeant, and then it is fun because they're like, oh, I want to do this, and then
we've actually seen a few people on our channels that have they've played sort of almost 3 whole games next to each other to do a whole battalion's worth. Which is quite cool.
You line up like they have their own kit. They have each player has their own setup, and each has their own company. And then so like the interesting thing is your players could actually take out the play, possibly the next, like if you have a machine gun that's in their field, they can actually take that out for you. Yeah, it can be really, really fun. A lot of
what Tweezer said there.
yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
The other thing I like about the deluxe version is I never got the reason the XO and the sergeant, what their roles were, but it's explained. You know, you can use them, you can push them forward to get somebody to do something. You can get someone in the Jeep, you can do all this. Wasn't explained very well in the 2nd edition, which is what I had originally. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
And later on,
I can't remember how long the sort of 2nd and 1st edition rules were in numbers. It wasn't 96 pages.
It was 60 odd pages, I think.
Yeah, I think we didn't quite double it, but we added a massive chunk. But that was literally, we didn't change the rules at all for deluxe. You know, Ben's rules stood up. There were a couple of it was just clarifications.
Yeah, just explain.
Load more examples. And
I think the problem was Ben being a military man, wrote the rules expecting everybody to understand how to change the command work. Who was this? Who was that? Who's below him? Who's below that? Which is what you did. You know, the rules were great. You know, but not very clear.
Everything was in there. Everything was
to somebody like, you know, a non-military man or woman. Now it's clear because in the tutorial it sort of tells you how the chain of command works and how it's all split up. Fantastic.
Yeah, a lot more pictures.
Pictures and
I like those.
Explanations too. The explanations of examples of play throughout the middle of like, oh, if this is happening here, here, and here. Line of sight is always one of those that no matter what game you have, there's always questions on line of sight. Although I was just playing around the other day and I was like, oh, because it's like the green and then the white. And the fire was coming in from the green. I'm like, oh, I get the big number instead of the little number, and so it's really fun.
You get bits of tree on you, and things like, you know, how you do commands once they leave the comfort of the landing site, they're virtually on their own. If they start splitting up, you split off a squad into an assault team, and leaving 2. There's 3 spots on a squad, isn't there? 3. You split off an assault team, and you ask them to push forward. The platoon commander asks you to push them forward. Then they're out of command. They've got everything else they do on their own initiative when they get an initiative roll to see how many commands they've got. Fantastic. It's
so saying to Nate, you know, so that's the command and control simulation. Literally, certainly in the earlier eras when there weren't many radios around, as soon as somebody moves off the card where the commander is, they're on their own. And actually, sometimes if they're on the command where the commander is, they might be on their own as well, just because, you know, if they're under a particular thick cover, they can't see or hear the hand signal type stuff as well. So, which is one of the interesting things with Volume 3. Obviously, it went up to the series previously went up to sort of 68-ish. Vietnam. I've taken it to 2008, and there's a lot happened in those 40 years afterwards. And so,
really, technology improved during 40 years.
Just other problems came up. But so one of the things is, you know, in Afghanistan and to some extent in Falklands, there's always a big thing about, well, I've sent my people forward. Why can't they go and look for cover or all this sort of stuff? And that's to do with, it's about having the tactical awareness there is cover on the cards. That's what the cover and concealment value is. But it's those extra little bits of sort of micro terrain, they're called, that will be a bit better cover or a bit better tactical position. And before, in the early eras, you'd send them forward, and you'd then have to basically run your platoon commander up to do all that organising again. And that's why so many platoon commanders got killed in the Second World War, because they had to be on the front. Whereas, not that platoon commanders don't get killed these days, whereas in Falklands and Afghanistan, everybody, or certainly in Afghanistan, everybody's got a radio. So you can actually communicate with a unit that you have pushed forward there, which gives you a lot more flexibility. But then there are other issues come out to do with that campaign.
I will say that communications was one of the hardest part of the game, and
I think you have to understand in the original.
Yeah, to understand it. But kind of once you get it, you're like, oh, this was easier than I thought it was. It's just one of those things. Yeah.
I mean, the company commander has a radio which he can communicate to the platoon commanders. That's it. Once they've got their orders and the platoon commanders send out their squads, they're on their own until the platoon commander moves up into that card to say, come on, boys. Otherwise they have to rely on their initiative. And the initiative are very low.
The Germans have vehicles. So the British have vehicles. The British have 2 recce jeeps, which whiz about, which is quite good fun on the first couple of one of the first missions. And then the Germans, there are Panzer 3, Panzer 4, Stug 3, sidecars, motorcycle sidecar combos.
Whoa!
What else we got? In fact, if I share,
you got brave. You got brave on this one, by the way, by throwing vehicles. Anytime I see a vehicle, I'm always like, "Oh, great! Am I going to understand?"
I'll tell you what. I'm not going to ask you any questions, Colin, about when it's coming out, because you got into trouble last time when you said, and Colin and Andrew had to come in and go, "Oh yeah, steady." So, but we're looking after Christmas. I should think it's going to be
well. So me and Andrew are now hands off. We've done all we can, and we've sent it off to the proofreaders. So these are sort of GMT's proofreaders who will go over it fine tooth comb, check that all our references point in the right direction when we're referencing things, and then come back. So depending on, I think they've got another week or 2 weeks. I think we're expecting it back. Depends how much they find, obviously, and then we'll remedy that, and then it'll be off to the printer. So, cool. What are we in June?
Oh. Yeah, June.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to make promises because things happen. They managed to crash the boat with a deluxe on. Did you remember that one?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not making any promises, but all I can say is, hopefully it'll be off to a printer next month.
That'd be nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Right. So if it is next month, then you are looking to Christmas time. If it does get
around Christmas, New Year, maybe. So
and obviously it takes different times to get to different parts.
Yeah, well, it takes months for stuff from China now to get to me for P500
because it comes directly
Thunderbolt and Gettysburg.
It's on the slow boat to China from China.
From China, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can see this. So top right.
I'll put it up here. I want to make sure I put that comment back up.
So Panzer 4, Panzer 3, Stug as a flak Panzer, the good old SPW 251s, Pumas. We got a captured Humber Scout car.
I hope so.
Yeah, that was I can't remember his name now. Hauptmann. Lost it. But yeah, so the commander of the reconnaissance regiment that came back across the bridge and got ambushed drove about in a British scout car, being captured. Motorcycle sidecar, nice little counter, and some trucks. And then the Brits have got, so we've got little recce jeeps in the Falklands. There's Scorpion and Scimitar. In
nice.
Afghanistan, we've got Wimmick, which are weapons mount vehicles with either a 50 cal or a grenade machine gun on top. You got Vikings, which are little tracked vehicles. Quad bike. I'm not sure how many other games have got quad bikes in.
No, I don't think there are.
And some trucks. Taliban. We have some motorbikes, pickups. Pickup with a big gun on the back. We've got VBIDs.
I'm pretty sure it's a Toyota, by the way, pickup.
It is, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know how they get them, but they get all the Toyotas, and Toyota's like, we're not meaning to do it.
Yeah, you got the pickups, the armored pickups with the bombs in them, truck bombs. I think that's it. In terms of vehicles,
Christoph means the color khaki. Is that what you mean, Christoph?
Yeah, khaki. Yeah,
it's not spelt that way, but it's pronounced that khaki is pronounced, isn't it, Colin? You know,
yes. Sorry. Let me go back and share again. Jump in now, so I can't see. What I'm doing when I go it. So we have 3 colors. So again, one of the sort of what have I done?
No, that's me. I'll do it. I'll let you get set up. There we go. Okay, there we go.
So yeah, so one of the challenges for us was
you can't get them.
Toyota dealership will never talk about the MG mount options either.
Yeah, I've asked. You can't get them.
Was fitting all the counters on. So in sort of deluxe, the counters for the.
I get you, Christoph. Don't worry.
The counters for Normandy and Korea were the same essentially.
Oh yeah, I'm glad the deluxe separated those. By the way.
Yes, yeah. But in here, so we have core unit. So over here we have the sort of khaki. These are the
Well, you could say khaki. You say khaki. You say khaki. It makes no difference to a colorblind person. It's that. It's the sort of. It's mishy.
Yeah. So those are the. That's the color scheme for the Arnhem. It's a green color scheme in the Falklands, and in Afghanistan, it's a kind of sandy color. So they're all unique, and again, because they're all different.
Yeah.
Again, they've all got different fire values. We couldn't use them between all the 3 campaigns, so yeah, we had to fit them on.
Colin, we got a question here, and I wanted to get back to it because it's a good question. How would situational awareness change now with the drone tech on the modern battlefield? Did your scenarios at all have any of the drones were around at that point, right? Or
yeah, so mostly sort of more strategic side though. So you can't carry sort of first person drones around. They're not in the game.
Yeah.
We've got a few. It's slightly abstracted, and there's a couple of sort of HQ events, you know, the system where you've got sort of predator support, and that allows you to spot or identify. Because again, part of the big game in Afghanistan is we got civilians and unidentified units all over the battlefield, and you can't. So in normal fields of fire, whenever your troops see an enemy troop, they'll fire. In Afghanistan, they won't, because you have to sort of positively identify them as to being sort of enemy or friendly.
Oh, okay. So there's some extra rules in to making sure that they're actual enemies. Yeah.
So there are generally random unidentified units or identified civilians wandering around the battlefield, generally getting in the way. You've got to try and sort of spot the unidentified ones to see whether they're civilian or Taliban. There is a mechanic where sometimes what you thought was civilian does actually turn out to be Taliban as well. But going back to the drone thing, there is an event in some of the missions where you can identify. They'll positively identify them as either. But
wine. That's your usual rough. Your wine. Your cardboardo.
No, I don't drink cardboardo anymore. What's usual then?
It's supposed to be usual.
Oh, right. Learn to spell, Jester.
Maybe he's been drinking what you're drinking. So Colin, I'm really excited. And I'm going to say this, and you don't have to say it. Do you foresee any further volumes going forward? I've heard that there's a World War I, but I think Ben's working on that one.
Yeah.
But do you see any other ones or expansion? Because once you kind of get the Brits in, you could do an expansion pretty easily, kind of like the Bulge.
I was saying to Nate in the green room, he's bringing out an Ancients.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
I'm working on an Ancients Fields of Fire. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
I'm holding them to it.
The legions.
So we've got to sort of make a balance, I think. I mean, obviously the big boxes take a while.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure.
And we put Bulge out, which sort of went down well. And we'd quite like to do a sort of mix, do a few expansions
And
then
that
big
works
box.
well with the new rules because I've got
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So yes, the quick answer is yes. I can foresee other bug boxes. There's obviously, like I say, Ben's got a World War One, which would be quite interesting. I think it's 1917, 1918 Commonwealth.
Okay.
I've not actually seen it.
Some more British. I got you.
Yeah, and
no,
Aussies and
Australians and Canadians, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's not trench warfare. It's sort of that period when it was starting to be a bit more fluid again. So
back to the later in the war. So
as Ben, with his other volumes, sort of meticulously researched, and he's very interested in showing that. The evolution of tactics and warfare and stuff. So
it's going into this is the only series we need to buy because it's going on forever.
Yeah.
What have you got next? I know you've still got to get volume 3 out. What have you and Andrew planning?
So Andrew has a volume. I think he's announced it. I might. So he's got Burma on the stocks. Again, British. Which is
I think I heard about like a Pacific. Yeah.
And again, I think I think that sort of campaigns sort of again sequential years again to show the evolution of the tactics. Ben's got First World War. We obviously got to redo Volume 2. There are other bits and pieces.
That's really the Volume 2 is really just the
scenario,
the scenario books and the mission books, really.
Well, I said that for deluxe when
okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
you said that.
I told you.
Yeah. Again, when we started doing it, it's like, this will be a 6-month job. We'll just polish it up.
3 years later,
2.5 years later, I think.
You got that SpongeBob 2.5 years later.
Yeah. And they're a bit time consuming, but he's not. See,
I like Word Freezer's comment. Maybe a Soviet expansion might be interesting.
Ben won't allow it. No. Ben's very, very down the line. He won't let you be definitely not Nazis and not baddies. And that's his prerogative with his thing.
Well, there's baddies in the Volume 1.
Second?
Well, you're not playing them.
Yeah, not playing them. But it also actually, to be honest, that I don't know enough about the sort of Soviet command and control.
I don't think there's enough Soviet, East Front stuff out there anyway. Yeah. I think we need some more.
Yeah.
But
even if we did one,
Germans in the Volume 1.
Yeah, it was the enemy.
Yeah. So I see. You've got two enemies in the Soviet. You mean?
Yeah. Basically, because the Soviets,
right?
Yeah, they're both not. They both did.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, that's fair enough. To be honest, I think because, like I say, it's sort of a command and control simulator. Really, I'm not sure. Even if we wanted to go there, you could do the
Poles defending the Nazis. The initial invasion could be an interesting, just one-off expansion. That could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I was gonna ask you is that basically with the deluxe, if you have the deluxe, basically you can separate all the information markers, the info markers, and just use them for all the scenarios pretty much.
Yeah.
So basically you can just have those on a separate counter tray and have those as you need them. So
I mean, my deluxe version is in 2 boxes.
Hey, guess who's here?
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Good morning.
Morning.
He looks half asleep. I don't blame him.
Well, you would have your live cast at 5 in the morning,
Yes.
Great to see you, Andrew.
Yeah, good to see you
again. Yep. So how's it going, Andrew? How's things going for you?
Yeah. Pretty good. Just woke up, so not quite sure, but yeah, I'm doing okay.
We were just talking about
volume on you. Hold on.
We were just talking about future volumes and future plans, and I was just going to say, Tony, one of the things we've got to sort of work out and be careful of is we want to, like you say, we want to not make people buy everything, although it'd be nice if they did. They need to be able to use counters from one, we can't make a unique expansion sort of thing where you definitely need all this other stuff from, I've only got this expansion, I can't use this. So we're trying to make it so that we can
but you will be putting the generic counters in every volume, so I'll have millions of exposed counters, which is not a bad thing because I like to put them on individual.
Never have enough exposed.
No, you can never have.
Well, it's like the OCS game. Like half the time, I've clipped one set of OCS counters, like info counters, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to clip those at least, so I can just put those away. So if you have multiple volumes, you just don't have to clip that.
Put them away for when they get worn out,
Yep.
those counters. But I was just trying to say that the deluxe edition, because I'm using GMT counter boxes, it's in 2 boxes. I've got the bulge expansion and the deluxe in 2 boxes. Terrible, but I love it.
I've got them both in one, apart from the rule book.
Yeah, I know. You can never get everything in one box.
Yeah, I got myself a box for the bulge, so mine is separate too.
Yeah.
Well, I've got.
Well, maybe we'll do an expanded bulge later in a new box.
Oh,
and then it'll look better on your shelf.
3 boxes then.
Well, I'm almost to the point where I have a whole little Calyx cube of Fields of Fire. So once number 3, are we doing a 4-inch box for the volume 3? Do you know? The bigger box, like the deluxe size box?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a big box.
That's Is that 3 or 4 inches? That
It's 3.5.
3.5.
Okay.
3 and a bit. Yeah,
No.
right.
So, Andrew, I wanted to let you know. So, my wife and my daughter will be landing in Osaka on Wednesday afternoon for 9 days.
Great.
So-
Okay, I'll just schedule in that 10 days.
I wish. So they're going through a tour. They're backtracking the golden route. So they're going from Osaka
okay.
up to Tokyo. So
Lovely.
I just thought it'd be. I'm like, yeah. I told her that you were jumping on. My daughter that you were jumping on. She's like, what time is it there? I'm like, yeah. Let's not get into that. I go, I'm gonna have to be dealing with talking to you guys either late at night or early in the morning. I'm like, that's just the way it works out. So.
Yeah, Sark saying, yeah, we need to get down on the game companies, get big boxes. So when you punch everything, it doesn't go back in the box. We need big boxes. The problem is with that, of course, is storage. Then so.
I'm.
I'd rather get everything back in a box that it came in rather than using.
Ruff, you got plenty of storage there. Look at all them shelves. You got plenty of space there.
It's full up. It's everywhere again.
I'm pretty happy with the solutions people came up with getting everything back in the Field of Fire Deluxe box. Anyway, I mean, I managed my 2 counter trays and everything, and managed to get the thing shut. So I figured people would get with all their new solutions and things. Yeah, those things C4.
Yeah, I've not.
Yeah,
used
the
them yet.
cube for me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting those.
Cube for me. Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, I've got mine in.
They can get bulge in the box at the same time as well.
Yeah, I've got
They
bulge
do a
and-
good job with that. So yeah.
Mhm.
It's good. It's good. We were just trying to convince Nate to play Fields of Fire because he likes a map.
Yeah, I don't own any Fields of Fire, so
Oh wow.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's
Now's the
a
time
sin.
to get Volume 1, Volume 3, bulge.
Well, get the deluxe version. That will keep you going
Yep.
for at least a year and a half.
I assume for someone who has never played Fields of Fire that the deluxe edition is the best one to go with initially.
So volume 3 is a standalone, and
Okay.
so deluxe is volume 1.
Mhm.
Essentially, it was only deluxe because we sort of
It's a revamp.
critified a lot of it, did all the extra stuff. It's still the same game it was. Volume 3, I think, is very playable for new people. Falcons is as sort of basic infantry work you can get. It's a lot of guys
So
in a big
basically,
field
whatever
fighting each other.
campaigns that you're interested in, you can pick
Get
whatever
the one
game.
you're interested in. This has got Normandy. It's got the Americans. So that might be more up your alley, so to speak. With Normandy and Vietnam and Korea. So.
What do you mean crap? These are history books. That's not crap.
You see what we get, Andrew? We get dissed by the chat. So-
Now, okay, now this is interesting. So Coy brings up an interesting question I would be curious about is
I can't click on anything.
North Africa.
Sorry, once more.
North Africa. So, sorry, go on.
Yeah, question about like North Africa in Fields of Fire.
So it's a mostly infantry system with vehicles. Again, I'm not a massive North Africa scholar. Like I say, I could do. I think the Battle of Udine. I think that would probably be a sort of 6-7 mission campaign, which is about the right size,
things, isn't it? In North Africa and that, isn't it? More tanks,
more
tank infantry.
As I understand it, yes. But I mean, there was obviously infantry there, and I'm sure there were bits and pieces. It's whether you can put together a decent enough campaign. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to the Burma one again with lots of Commonwealth and Brits
Burma,
in it.
Working on Burma.
Yes.
I've got it narrowed down to 65 missions, and maybe we'll put them all in.
No, expansions.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. 15 missions. Yeah.
I would say,
but I can see a definite 1942 mission, because 1942 is interesting from a infantry company point of view, and then some Chindits, Operation Thursday.
Oh, bless them, Chindits. Yeah.
Get up to Imphal. One of the approaches, and the expansion packs, and there's a lot we can do with Burma. I'm looking forward to showing you what I've been working on. So
you really weren't kidding about 65 missions. You think you could do about 65 missions? I think the way it sounded, you probably could.
It was Burma was it was a whole war. It was like four years of campaigning.
He's going Avalanche Press. He's going Panzer Grenadier. The Burma campaign is. I actually read a book on it. I just was going through Barnes and Noble one day and I saw it. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. I read it. I'm like, there's a lot there. There is a lot there.
There is. Yeah.
Between Americans, Brits,
But then you can bleed out into the rest of the Pacific, and
sure.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant.
Now, I will say, to go back, Blue Tweezer has comment on there is, even for North Africa, maybe not like the Western Desert campaign, but even like the Tunisia campaign, where there is
Tunisia. We say Tunisia. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Nate. You know what? We're outnumbered now. Nate, we're outnumbered now.
We are, unfortunately. But you have the Americans coming in, and then you have the British 8th Army coming in. So you have a lot there, and it's a tighter space, and there's more villages and towns to take out to liberate, and plus you get like Kasserine Pass, which was horrible for the Americans, but it was a tight confined.
Do you want something on the Kasserine Pass? I don't know.
Okay, here's what I'm going to tell Nate, and I'm pretty sure Colin and Andrew had probably heard this. If Gene heard you asking about that, he's like, okay, good idea. Go for it. Right. You start designing it. Yep. You take care of it.
Well, I did say I wanted Fields of Fire Ancients, so.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's all just about pointing you guys in the right direction and making sure we're going. And Fields of Fire Phalanx. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Legionary Command. You got your Centurions and the Legates. And yeah.
Just in there's a chat message coming. Sark KK just coming about Pacific with invasions like Tarawa could be interesting. Well, funny thing.
You should say that.
So we have Tarawa, Saipan, and I think Tinian Ben mentioned last time on the card. So that was probably going to be the next thing we did, but we might now focus on volume 2 instead.
Volume 2. Explain to the peeps what volume 2 is, because
so volume 2 was Peleliu, Chosin Reservoir in Korea, and Hue in Vietnam.
Right.
And then Ben was working on an expansion, which was Tarawa Saipan. It looks like he's going to expand that to Tinian as well, and that's again quite interesting. It'll be amphibious landings. I think there were some sort of fairly hefty defences on Tarawa and Saipan in terms of massive blockhouses, which again will be sort of different. I think I was going to say to Nate, so one of the things we're very keen on is we're not going to just do the same campaign with different counters. We want them all. We want them all to be very different.
Yeah.
And again, it's a bit strange. It's a historical series, and so again, you're saying about North Africa and battlefields with villages. We can do that easily, and we could generate these random things, but we'd like to try and base it on a little bit of maps as well. And so because we could make missions till the cows came home of just fighting over a generic 4x4 grid of cards. You could do that very easily. We don't want to do that. We want to again keep for education purposes, which I think Ben is keen. I think both of us are keen as well.
We had Ben on a couple times, and I don't think we got too many words in edgewise at that one. Because
Ben is a fantastic, knowledgeable person, but once he goes, I can't find the off button. I mean, it's great.
Which is great for us hosts, because all we had to do was say a question and then just let it go. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah.
So we've got.
Sorry.
There's a good point in the chat there. FOF2's US Marines, and that's the interesting thing about Fields of Fire, in that you can change the organization and they play quite differently. Like in Bulge, you had some parachute 101st units, which Ben said, you can just try out these and see how they work. And if you put them into like Normandy or any of the campaigns you've already got, it plays out quite differently. It's not a US Army regular infantry company anymore. You've got some very hard-hitting units, and then they break up very quickly, and you've got to change your tactics about. And that's the fun thing, is seeing how different types of companies play out. And you've got your Fields of Fire 3. You've got your British Parachute Company. And then when they come into Arnhem, they're very light, but they move quickly. They've got all these mortars, which mostly fire smoke, which is just a lot of fun, moving up the map covered by smoke and supporting each other. And it's fast and light, and it's great until you get bogged down in the city in Arnhem, and then you want to be a lot stronger than you actually are when all the tanks start rolling in. And you've got to work out what you're doing there. It's that's fun. It's not just a change of scenery.
And again, across the three campaigns, the Arnhem, fighting your Arnhem company is very, very different to fighting your Falklands company, and that's very, very different to fighting your Afghanistan company. They feel very different.
And that's the good thing about splitting it over 3 eras, if you like, that you have the technology, and the game completely changes.
Yeah,
and that's in Volume 1, even the deluxe version, you can see. It's a different.
Yeah, I mean, in Volume 1, there wasn't a massive gap between sort of Second World War and Korea. There's a few. Some of the heavy weapons are slightly better in Korea, but they're very different campaigns because, like Tony said, you're suddenly on an 8-wide map with a very light company and spread very, very thinly, and it feels very different and fights very differently. Yeah. If the battles in Korea had been very Normandy-like, I don't think it would have been a very good campaign to do, because it would just be picking up and dropping people into different. There is tweezers.
There is a special order to bring up the Piat. Yes.
Hang on. I'll share my screen again. I'll go and find it. Hang on.
Have we got? By the way, are we doing our bits, our spots, or not?
Yeah. I was going to ask real quick on the Falklands, what exactly is going to be covered? What battles or what areas is exactly going to be covered on that? If you guys don't mind being a little specific on that. So kind of curious.
So 2nd Battalion Parachute Regiment were the only battalion in the Falklands to fight 2 battles. So they fought Goose Green, the first battle, and Wireless Ridge, the last battle.
Okay.
And so Goose Green, for people who don't know, was a bit of a cock-up. Sorry, I'll just stop sharing so I can see people a sec.
Oh yeah. It was surely our most heroic moment in British history.
Yeah,
so we'd obviously gone on and we'd got on the islands, and again, people know the history. We'd lost a few ships, sort of destroyers, frigates, to the Argentinian Air Force, and basically, I think the Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher wanted a victory, and the public wanted a victory, and so the Paras were sent off to initially just raid a settlement and a small airfield at a place called Goose Green and Darwin, just down to the south of where we'd landed. It came and went. It turned from a raid into a full-on assault. The fire support was shocking. I mean, that's again one of the other things you'll notice. to when you're fighting an American company. Americans can generally call on an awful lot of artillery all the time. It was a battalion attack, and they had, I think it was 2 tubes of mortars and 3 light guns in support. And they did have a naval gun as well, but that broke. So they basically went into a battalion attack across terrifyingly flat moorland into defended positions. And you just would in daylight. I forgot that bit. Again, it was originally meant to be a sort of 3-4 hour battle. It went on for over 24 hours. And they were basically, fighting for their lives across the field. And so yeah, it's a very interesting battle. Again, very, very, as infantry as you get. It was, guys literally fighting for the guy next to them. Yeah, across very flat ground. They lost the commanding officer. Colonel H. Jones was killed in a. He took a bit of a rush up a valley and got shot.
Oh, that's Tweezer's. You got to lead with your COHQ.
Yes, so there is there's a headquarters event where the company commander turns up in the front line and wants to go, and so if you get that one, you might well end up with a totally historic
oh dear
end to it. So that was Goose Green, and again it went on once they'd got to this hill I mentioned earlier, Darwin Hill. They then crested over that, and then it was basically flat ground again out to the airfield. And as they went down there, they had the 20mm and 35mm anti-aircraft guns turned on them in the sort of ground fire roll, ground to ground. So again, that's pretty brutal. Again, so the cards in the Falklands are, there's lots of flat stuff and not much cover. And then the next.
I remember Andrew talking to me about that when you guys were setting it up. He's like, "Yeah, it's open. Like they're on the heights, and it is open, and you have to get there." I'm like, "Ooh, that sounds like not a good time."
There's an awful lot of white bordered cards
over that way. There's a gorse bush. If you make it that far, maybe
and then
you can find that little bit of cover.
And then the second battle was Wireless Ridge, which was basically the last ridge before Stanley, the capital. Time we'd learned how to fight. Goose Green was the only daylight battle in the war. Everything else was done at night after that, because the Argentines actually had probably better night fighting equipment than we did in terms of night vision, but we were just trained. The British were trained a lot more to fight in those conditions, and so every attack went in at night then. And so Wireless Ridge was the last one, and in contrast to Goose Green, where they had 3 guns and 2 mortars, they had, I think it was 9 guns, 18 mortars, light armored vehicles, Milan anti-tank missiles, everything going in. It was a fairly brutal fight. It was along a sort of a knife back ridge in the dark, but it's still seen actually as a sort of textbook battle in the way it's conducted. It certainly, I don't know if it still is, but not that long ago it was still being taught at staff colleges. This is the way you do a battalion attack at night along the ridge. So again, they're very different. They're very different campaigns, even within that campaign. Wireless Ridge is 4 missions, I think, 4 or 5. Cool. Goose Green is 8, I think.
3.
So essentially, all of the, again, this is a question out of ignorance because I haven't played it, but essentially, like all of these linked missions tell a really cool story, a really cool narrative in it all.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, so they're all linked together. I mean, obviously, this campaign, this volume is slightly different. So, Volume 1 Deluxe had Normandy, which covered a span of months. Korea covered a fair period as well, and Vietnam was again spread over a year almost. I think I can't remember the actual dates. Again, this one. Arnhem, ended up being should have been 2 days, ended up as 4 or 5 days. Falklands, they were basically 24-hour battles, so they're different, but there's lots of phases within them. So actually, in the Goose Green battle, all the other campaigns you fight one company. In all the missions. In Goose Green, you actually end up fighting all of the companies because they have different parts of the battle, so which sort of works. And Afghanistan's set over essentially a year as well. So
Yeah,
Cool.
because I was kind of curious because I had picked this up and I've read it.
It's a good book.
3 days in June, third pair of battles for Mount Langdon. I was like, ooh, maybe it's that battle, but no. Okay.
No,
Anyway,
that's the
great
third
book
one.
though, because it's told by he basically went through and got both Argentinian and British vets and got sides of it and got their remembrance. So it's interesting. You hear one group talking about hearing somebody over here, and then they got those people to say what was going on over there. So it was really you kind of get this back and forth, and then so I recommend it very, very, very highly. This was recommended by a viewer that unfortunately had passed, but he was a vet of the Falklands, and he recommended
a very funny chap. Very
great wit, typical British wit. I mean, great wit. So really good.
That's
guy.
a very good
But
book. If you want to know what fighting up a mountain in the dark's like, that's a very good book.
Yes, very good book. Recommend it very highly. I think it's like, I mean, in the most thing, like most history books, is there's like a ton of appendices.
It sounds like right up Nate's street. It's a big, thick book.
So that's another thing for Nate. We have bibliographies in our mission books.
Very nice.
Or recommended reading at least.
Long big bibliographies.
Yeah, you know when you picked a good history book when the footnotes on a page are longer than the actual text on the page.
So this is technically 436 pages, and the rest, the very, 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 very minor part of appendices.
Well, that must be 100 odd pages, mustn't it? Or 50, 60, 80.
No, less than that, 40.
Oh, right. That's not a very good book.
It's all text, but again, these are all interviews. So it's not like you have other text or other primary sources.
They're just referencing the facts they put in the book by saying, this chap told me. Oh, can I change the subject, Colin?
I guess so.
Just to say toothpaste. Now, don't worry about what's down the bottom there. Toothpaste. A story you told me about.
I've been melting, yeah. I've been to one place in my life.
Tell us that and tell us the situation, because it was quite funny.
I've been to one place in my life where toothpaste melts, and that was Iraq, 2003. Got there probably the first day. Went to brush my teeth. Couldn't use couldn't use any water. It had to be bottled water, obviously, because it was not good stuff. So wet my toothbrush, a bit of water, popped the top off my toothpaste, tipped it over my brush, and the whole tube went, and that was it. It was warm.
And then the other time you try to cool yourself down with a bottle of water and you scalded yourself.
Yeah, that was the same one. Yeah, it was, that was slightly later. It had been next to my just on the sort of based on the window shelf of a building. Just not long. That was quite early in the morning. And,
so what temperature did it get up to early in the morning over there?
I remember thinking back at the time. I had a little alarm clock with a temperature thing on there, and I was sleeping outside a building one time, and I remember it. Light came up quite early, and I remember watching it go sort of. I can't remember the numbers now, but it was almost like 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and then it just broke. And it was I think it was certainly mid to high 50s the day I left.
This is centigrade, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're talking hundreds.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. No,
they still.
Dave's looking it up right now. I have a feeling.
You bet.
But yeah, 100, as we always say, Colin, thank you.
So this last heat wave, you had no problem with. You're like, oh, this is nothing.
I don't know. I don't like it.
No, it's different. It's a different heat, isn't it?
But I say, yeah.
It drains you. It's we had about 3 or 4 days. But this week has been just rain, and it's going to be raining, I think, for a few more days. Windy. It goes from one thing to the other. It's weird.
For the Americans listening, 50 degrees Celsius is 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
What's 56? 57?
56 is 132.
And this is like at 8:30 in the morning.
Well, that was it. Yeah, I was about to say to Tony, when it was hot the other week, I wasn't wearing body armor, so it wasn't quite as toasty. But yeah,
you can take off some layers to feel comfortable and stuff. Yeah.
it's easier to warm yourself up than cool yourself down, I think. So,
Yeah.
All right. So Nate, do you happen to have a book to recommend, like you always do for some reason?
I do actually. I do have a book to recommend. Not only because today is D-Day, but also for the subject, Fields of Fire about infantry divisions and infantry combat. So this is a book that I got to read when I was in grad school. I took a World War II class when I was in grad school, and turned out to just love this book. It is called The GI Offensive in Europe, the American Infantry Division, 1941 to 1945, by Peter Manzor. And this is an excellent book about the development of the American infantry divisions. From the discussions of how many divisions should they create at the beginning of the war. There was a discussion, should there be something like 150 divisions? And instead they ended up with around 90 divisions. But then also talks about how they ended up learning it, because there was no real set system to integrate experience from combat into the recruiting and training of the divisions that were back home training to be sent over. And so a lot of it is ad hoc throughout the war. And eventually you get all the way to the end of the book and you get to where a lot of experience in Normandy, obviously across France, a lot of experience on learning to get through the West Wall. But really the peak of American infantry power and really American military might comes in the breakout across the Rhine and just the crazy blitz across Germany, where Patton's army makes it into Czechoslovakia faster than the Soviets, who were closer, could have gotten there. So fascinating book. It's also a really good book to show how that even though the Allies had overwhelming military firepower, that overwhelming firepower doesn't always translate into an overwhelming military victory. You could just look at the Normandy campaign as a great example of that, of how much artillery that the Allies had, but when faced against a tenacious defender, it can be very difficult. So great book. Great book.
All right, Ruff, what you got for us for today in history? I don't know anything happened today.
Well, not a lot happened today.
Not a lot happened.
I don't think, but we'll start off in 1813 with you guys and us guys in the War of 1812.
Although I'm feeling a little in the minority on this because it's just me and Nate against three Brits.
Three Brits, yes, yeah.
That's not usual. Usually we're the one picking on the Brit, not the Brits picking on us.
Right.
But anyway, in the War of 1812, this was 1813, at the Battle of Stony Creek. And this will warm the cockles of our hearts. It says, a British force of 700 under John Vincent defeated an American force twice its size under William Winder and John Chandler. This battle,
I've never heard of them, and that tells you how bad this was.
Yeah, you've wiped it from your history, haven't you?
Yeah, we whitewashed that one.
This Battle of Stony Creek was fought today, 1813, during the War of 1812, near what is now Stony Creek, Ontario, Canada. That's probably why. British unit.
That's home. That was home. That was your guys' home court.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. The Brit units made a night attack on the American encampment, and due in large part to the capture of the two senior officers of the American force and a overestimation of British strength by the Americans, the outcome of the battle was a victory for the British and a turning point in the defense of Upper Canada,
which is actually farther away.
Yeah, it's up there. It doesn't matter, does it?
No, it isn't. It's down here. That's the thing. It's
that's Upper Canada was still your bit, was it? Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, Upper Canada is basically right next to Michigan.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it's it's up the river. It was up the river, basically.
Yeah,
so if you think of it that way. Yeah.
1862, you guys, American Civil War, the first Battle of Memphis, a naval engagement fought on the Mississippi River, results in the capture of Memphis, Tennessee by Union forces from the Confederates. And then 1942, World War II, the United States Navy's victory over the Imperial Japanese Navy at the Battle of Midway. Another one you forgot, you thought the other one, is a major turning point in the Pacific theater. All 4 Japanese fleet carriers taking part, Agaki, Kaga, Soryu, excuse my pronunciations, Andrew, Soryu and Huryu are sunk, as is the heavy cruiser Mikuma. The American carrier Yorktown and destroyer Haman are also sunk. Yes, apologies.
Yorktown, very good.
I got that one. You're not supposed to take the Mickey out of another Brit. It's them things.
See,
right?
I was always told that you pronounce every letter if it's a Japanese word, you pronounce every letter, and as long as you do that, you're pretty close.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it again, Andrew.
Anyway. Oh, come on, Ruff.
No.
We need it. We need another eponymix.
Oh man.
No. But the one we're all talking about, 1944, the Battle of Normandy, D-Day, codenamed Operation Overlord, commenced with the landing of 155,000 Allied troops on the beaches of Normandy in France to liberate Western Europe from German occupation, with about 5,000 landing and assault craft, 289 escort vessels, and 277 minesweepers participating. The Allied soldiers quickly broke through the Atlantic Wall and pushed inland in the largest amphibious military operation in history. A huge airborne armada, 9 planes wide and 200 miles long, carries American and British troops across the British Channel for the D-Day invasion. 37 Royal Canadian Air Force bomber, fighter, and coastal squadrons also took part in operations for this invasion. And then finally, 1944, sort of related, capture of Caen Canal and Orne River bridges by British paratroopers, also known as Operation Coup de Man. There we go.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, it I almost forgot. So much going on in my life right now. I forgot it was D-Day. I remember we talked about it, but I had forgotten that today was D-Day until you said something. And I'm like, now I feel offended that I forgot. A history teacher forgot today was D-Day. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Crap. I feel like crap.
I've just insulted Andrew by pronouncing all those Japanese his look says it all. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Now he's never coming back.
Seriously,
I got a book by me here as well, which I'll show you.
Nice. Good, great.
Handbook on the British Army, 1943. Nice. It's a reprint of a US manual, which apparently was it says in here. A US military manual, Handbook on the British Army, produced in early 1943 to basically educate the Americans about who the British were and what they were like. And so there's some great stuff in here.
Funny.
That's got to be a fun read. That has got to be a fun read.
Is there a bit in there about don't ask Americans about baseball?
No, this is the other way around. This is more
the other way around. So
don't ask an Englishman to have his tea put in the microwave if such things existed back in the 1940s. But because again, coming back to Fields of Fire,
of course,
Volume 3 is written in British English. You'll be pleased to hear.
Is it really with the spelling?
Yeah. Our proofreaders are loving it.
Oh crap! We got a bunch of U's and words that don't make sense.
And we've had the limited action teams in Fields of Fire. You have assault teams, fire teams, paralyzed teams, and litter teams. But I didn't know what a litter was until I was quite old, and I watched ER, I think it was, on telly, and it's like, why are they calling that stretcher a litter? And so we have stretcher
place
teams.
Where your cat goes
because again, that's another thing. What's a bloody litter team? It's not explained. They assume
so we have stretcher teams.
Guys know,
Actually, because litter is actually from the ancient world where the person would be on the couch, and that's a litter.
Okay.
And they would carry them.
Okay. As in whatever.
Like
you would see in the movie, they would have them on.
Like the sedan chairs, you mean, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, but we obviously had stretcher bearers in the war, and so we can't have litter bearers. So so we've had stretcher teams.
Have you got much kickback from that from our American cousins about extra letters in words and rechanging? It'll happen.
I'm gonna write a strongly lettered email about that. A strongly worded email about that.
But so we've actually had to put a. We're having to put a
that's what I thought it was. It's somewhere where stuff is, that sort of
or litter. Yeah, litter to us is what you would call trash.
Litter.
Oh, we call that litter too, but there's just different context and words.
Yeah, here we go. Here, I'll share it. This is what a litter is. That's
a sedan chair.
But that's where it comes from.
Ah, right.
They're doing a lot of work with that guy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right. But what word does that come from? Because
he's not even injured. Look at him. He's up there smiling.
But we have
that's translated to the English litter. But what was the original word?
You got him now. You look it up.
Good. You're making him work.
You're making him work.
A lectica.
Aha.
But we are having to put in the books a bit of a translation.
There's a translation guide.
I understand that.
I love that. I no, seriously, guys.
I do. I love it as well.
This is absolutely awesome.
We could just stick this book in there. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. So you can make it work. That's actually one of those things that I think that is actually really cool that you guys are able to do that. Because it really does open the eyes. Like, oh, okay. So yeah, we have, like, you guys say lieutenant instead of lieutenant. I'm like, there's no F in lieutenant. So how is that a lieutenant? So
there's a reason for that, and we won't go into it. All right.
But no, it's pretty cool that you guys are doing that in British English. And yes, there'll be a couple U's that I'll be like, what? Why is there a U in color? I don't get that.
Because that's the correct term, the correct way of spelling the word.
It's that Nate Bergazzi sketch where he's like, there'll be two sets of temperatures. There'll be one that makes sense, and then that one that doesn't. And we are going to choose the one that doesn't.
You see, we used to have Fahrenheit, and then we got rid of it when we went metric, and you kept it.
We're still holding up British standards, even though you all abandoned them.
Well, don't start on that word.
Yeah, you guys have bigger pints than we do, and I'm a little annoyed by that.
We have,
seriously.
We have imperial pints. You have US pints, which are smaller.
I know. I ask for a pint, and I get a small glass of beer. Like, come on, give me a pint. Give me a real one. Like, seriously.
But it'll be fun when we get to the French volume. There's all sorts of words again.
Oh my goodness!
So your US has your squads and your British has your sections, but then in French a section is a platoon, and
Actually, I didn't. No, just kidding. I don't have a.
But can you see what I have to put up with, guys? Colin and Andrew, what I have to put up with when we have this?
Okay, so I am curious. Actually, has there ever been a thought about doing like all these volumes are later World War II and later 20th century conflicts. I know you mentioned a World War I one, but what about early World War II, like the Battle of France, 1940?
That might be a good one.
Well, I've got we got 1942 in Burma when we get to that, and that's Burma, so that's sort of very, very old compared to everywhere else there at 1942. So you've got your runners running about, people trying to lay phone lines, and just.
So no radios in that one.
Technology they can get hold of.
So no radios in that one. I'm assuming the Burma one.
No.
You're gonna really make us learn the communication rules with Burma, basically.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to use phone lines for the first time. And I tell you what, Jeeps. I saw somebody use a Jeep for the first time ever in Fields of Fire, and that was Tweez. And he used it. He got his XO into the Jeep and loaded some ammo and transported it up to a machine gun. And I thought, that's the first time I've ever seen anybody use a Jeep in Fields of Fire, which was great. So well done, Tweez.
Now, I would be curious. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so I think it was Tony saying about he wasn't sure what the company staff were for, but yeah, that's their job. They're there basically. It always used to be said, the company XO or the second command, he was always one bullet away from being the company commander. So he's there ready to step in, but also they're there to again, in Fields of Fire terms, mop up all those lats that you've left behind, the limited action teams that are split off the sections, generate them back into fighting units and pump them forward. Certainly the first sergeant, company sergeant major type role, that's very much a logistics role. So he's the guy who will sort of be pushing all the ammunition forward. So that's what they're for. And they can do that in Fields of Fire as well. So.
Yeah, I actually saw Grantos, and Andrew, I'm sorry that he asked you so many questions. He's like, oh, I talked to Andrew. I'm like, oh yeah, I bet
he's Scottish. He's Scottish. We accept that. That's fine. That's it.
But the other thing is that by the way, if you're interested in Fields of Fire, there is a Facebook page that I think Andrew is on like 24/7 just about. And if you have a question, he will probably be the first one to answer if it's not like at a weird middle of the day when he's sleeping, because of course he's over in Japan. But like Andrew, you are like really good about getting back to when people have questions.
Also on Discord as well. Yeah, he's there. He's in 2 places at once.
BGG.
All over the place.
I know we don't use BGG.
But I actually saw
an alert
him
pops up on my phone.
Yeah, I actually had him. I saw him rebuild the squads like ahead of time. He sent the EXO over to rebuild, and like there were some questions he came up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good question. And so I'm like going through the rule book. I'm like, wow, that's actually in here. Okay, that's like, it's like it's all in there. You just gotta know where to look. And Andrew, you weren't quite on yet, and Colin had said that basically the rule book is more like a reference book than actually a rule book. So once you get that structure down, the command, the CO, XO, first sergeant, platoon leader, once you kind of get that down, it's actually a pretty straightforward game. It's just you have all these edge cases that come up, and that's where it is. And I always like it. And I think, Andrew, you said it, like, if you got to make a decision, just flip a card and figure it out. Just one means yes, 2 means no. Look at a 2, and there you go. Don't
keep the game moving ahead. There are rules if you need them, and they're all in the rule book. But yeah, get some games moving first. And then after a game, look it up. Oh, okay, that was how it was supposed to happen officially. And next time you play, you're a little bit better. It's you're not supposed to be perfect.
I think it's a game where you learn it as you go along. You can't learn everything at once. So you make decisions, you turn a card if you don't know what to do. And then, as you say, read the rules, and then a little bit more info. You learn as you go along. It's that sort of game. It's not a overnight game. You're not going to learn it.
I can't remember off the top of my head how far into the rule book, the big box that says put this rule book down and go pick up the field manual instead. It's not very far in.
It's the first page of the rule book. Enjoy the game, I think, is what the overall thing is.
Actually, technically it says within the first page right here, it says stop if you are unfamiliar with field or you need a refresher rules. The field manuals, like, basically go to the field manuals.
The only problem is with this game is that if you're a YouTuber and you play it just to play it, you're going to get annihilated by comments saying you did this wrong, you did that wrong, so there's always that as a YouTuber. You've got to make sure you've got an okay way to play the game.
Well, I
try to refrain myself from YouTube comments these days, because I did find myself, maybe they're not going to enjoy this game anymore if I just keep saying, no, don't do that. No, it's not quite right.
No, constructive comments saying maybe you should have done this or done that, or you forgot that. I get them on my YouTube channel all the time, and they're being nice about it. I don't mind them being nice. But this game, if I start playing it now, I've got it on the table. I'm going through the tutorials again. You've got to know a little bit. So if you get a little bit wrong, it's okay, because I say, oh, you should have done that. Oh, thank you very much. That helps everybody. But yeah, it's you put your life in your hands when you put a YouTube video up, I tell you.
It's a lot easier when you're not showing it to anyone.
No, I don't know. It's what I do. I love doing videos to try and get people to play the games, and Field of Fire is one of them. I will bite the bullet. I think when I'm ready to do it, I'll bite the bullet. And Tweez has done it, and he's getting a little bit of, not flack, but he's got some people commenting, and it's always the same. But you live and learn.
I mean, it looks like he's enjoying it for sure.
Yeah, as long as they're nice about it, I don't mind people telling me I've made a mistake. As long as they're going, "Oh, rough, you should have done." Thank you. You know. So,
I mean, that's the
whole
point
system
of
will absorb it anyway. So
yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of playing these is just to have fun. As well, you know.
And I think people get that with my videos. I'm playing it for fun. I'm not telling them how to play. It's not a masterclass in playing the game. So 99% of the time, people are lovely. You know, they just put me in the right direction, which helps people watching and me as well. So yeah, but this game is a bit different. So I've got to make sure I know some of the stuff.
I'll tell you, I still get usually when I don't publish anything for a while, like I've been so busy in May with my daughter's graduation, family, and everything like that going on. Most of my videos are me and Andrew playing.
Shut up, Dragon. Sorry, he's having a go at me.
It's me and Andrew playing. Honestly, Fields of Fire, like the kind of play and teach we did as we went through it, and that one, those are consistently.
That's good because you got somebody that knows what they're bloody doing. So
I did turn off comments because I have forgotten everything that we did. And they're like, "Well, on this time period at this thing, you did this. Why did you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. That was
I can't remember.
That was a year and a half, 2 years ago." I'm like, "Okay." I usually after about a year, I cut off the comments because I got
comments 5 years ago saying, "Oh, why did you do that?" And I go, I can't remember. Anyway,
that's at least like this comment. I mean, that's awesome that you guys are still staying up and helping people continuing to know the game.
Yeah, having woken up and joining this live stream, I'm feeling a bit antsy because I noticed there were comments on Facebook and questions which I haven't gone to yet, and they're gonna have to wait an hour.
Anxiety because you can't answer those questions.
You're busy on here.
No, and it's crazy how quickly you guys do react and answer questions, and we all as gamers appreciate it.
Because you're not you love the game. This game is your game, and the fact that you're there on it and answering people's questions because you want people to enjoy the game and get the game out there more. And I tell you what, since PunchCon, Colin, and me and you sitting down and ruining in keep up.
We haven't fully discussed that yet, have we, mate?
No. I think he's been holding off on that one and not wanting to talk about that.
Thomas Van Hare, the designer of aircraft solitaire games, said, "What's all this about? This is a bit weird." So I sat down with him and Colin, and we went through Keep Up the Fire. And he was going, this is weird. This is different. This is yeah. Then suddenly somebody was over at his table with his game, Speed Kings. So he said, "I've got to go." So me and Colin decided to finish the game. And just to finish the game, we had to have no pinned units in the objectives. And bugger me, both lots were pinned and we lost.
The full story was Thomas had got up to about turn 8.
Yeah.
And there was it was the last turn or two to.
And you said it'll be all right. No, it'll be all right. No, we're not. Let's go for it. You said.
I think we'd had a couple of only 1 or 2 casualties from mines early on. Not much else happening.
Yeah.
Thomas goes off. Ref takes over and got absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, I know. He was like, "No, it'll be all right." You said, "No, it'll be all right. We've got enough units there. We're just going to push," and they all got pinned. And it was like, yeah. Right.
That Keep Up the Fire scenario is a lot of fun. If you really want to play and make mistakes and not worry about the whole campaign, play that a couple of times. And by the time you get through it about 1, 2, or 3 times, you'll have the rules down well enough.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to try to figure out how to go from one scenario to the next scenario and deal with that.
So essentially what we've learned is that if, don't promote rough to anything.
Charming. See what I mean? Nate, have we convinced you to at least?
I'm considering. I'm considering it more than I was 2 hours ago. That's for sure.
So what was it that flip?
Okay. Even though I'm an American, I do fancy some British World War II Commonwealth action, and so having a game specifically on not just Arnhem, but then also the Falklands and Afghanistan, particularly since the last two aren't really covered, especially Afghanistan is not covered in wargaming at all.
Oh, Falklands, good luck finding. There's only a couple of games out there about that.
Right,
Falklands.
exactly.
Lock and
So
load, and
I was unsure because again, like you say, it's it's in the British consciousness, obviously, and I was wondering how it would go down because quite early on we got some bit of a snarky comment on, I can't remember what it was, on one of the GMT thing.
You shot yourself in the foot by making a Falklands campaign.
Ruined the system by doing the Falklands. It wasn't fighty enough, and it's like, well, there's a lot of people killed.
They thought it was. I watched it on the telly. Yes, it bloody was.
And like I say, Goose Green is as infantry classic battle as you can get. And I think that I'd still be interested because you shouldn't in the Falklands campaign actually take that many casualties. I mean, we talked about how it's pretty grim and flat and everything, but the level should be a lot lower than say a Normandy campaign. And certainly by the time you get to Afghanistan, you should really go through that campaign with, if you're taking, you'll take 1 or 2 casualties per mission maybe, but if you're starting to lose, whole platoons, something's gone really badly wrong, and it's not designed to be that brutal. Because it wasn't like that, and if it's not a bloodbath simulator, and because it ramps up it's a very much a tension simulator. You've got these unidentified vehicle approaching you. Is it Taliban? Is it civilian? Do you move to that next card without putting the Valon minesweepers out or not? That's a risk, and so it's all these things, and actually, it's the tension of the Afghanistan campaign is quite interesting. But I am wondering how people who play war games because they like shooting everybody are going to get on with it, because that's not what Afghanistan was like, and that's not what it simulates.
Right.
Well,
so
said, one of our great playtesters had when it just started, it just finished off playing Normandy. And he came in and approached Afghanistan like a World War II linear approach up the map. And he was absolutely annihilated by suicide bombers and IEDs. And he's like, where's my company gone?
Yeah. You've got to look out for civilian. Is it, the enemy or just some civilian wandering about?
You've got to take it a whole lot slowly.
No, I'm so looking forward to it.
Well, even, one of the things that interests me is a lot of, and people pointed out, like,
hey, Dave. Yes, look, there we go.
Oh, cool. Is like the modern tactics Afghanistan from VUCA. That's another one that covers Afghanistan. But there's most of the games that I encounter, at least, and I don't know all war games, but most of them I see that cover modern warfare is more of a hypothetical Third World War of what we project modern warfare in the 90s or whatever it might be. But when you're covering the Falklands or Afghanistan, modern warfare in reality is a heck of a lot different than a lot of people thought it might have been, or projecting how it could be in the future. And so that's why I find that's kind of interesting of simulating and actually seeing this is what real modern warfare is like in the late 20th and early 21st century.
That sounds good. But also you've got Arnhem, if you don't want to get the deluxe volume 1 with the Americans going through the 3 eras there, and you're going to go straight for volume 3, you've still got Arnhem. And you'll have to watch The Longest Day again. I'm sorry. No, not The Longest Day. Bridge Too Far. I have to watch that again.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Or the other movie. What was it called, Colin? With actual veterans playing the parts.
It is
They
cool.
who.
Yeah, they. I've got it.
Oh, it slips my mind.
Come on, I need to watch it if I haven't watched it. Come on.
So it's on. You'll find it on YouTube. It is called "Theirs Is the Glory."
I have seen it. Yes.
So it was basically filmed in 1946 in Arnhem with basically a lot of the veterans who fought the battle.
Oh, really?
So it's like a sort
fresh
of
out of POW camp and got them filming the battle again.
You're in a film, mate. So
yeah. Before you can go home, could you just run over there again?
Oh my gosh!
Okay, so real quick, I want to answer this real quick. So what's next is Fields of Fire 3, which is the British. And by the way, you have to learn how to speak British. It's required for the game.
Proper spelling. Proper spelling. Okay.
So that's going to be Arnhem, Falklands, and Afghanistan. And then possibly there's a couple of things in the process, but they want to do a Fields of Fire 2 Deluxe, which should be only like a 3-month project.
Well, is it deluxe?
That's what they were saying, at least.
What is it? Deluxe or expansion or update?
Okay, so the plan while we were doing Fields of Fire 3 was that after Fields of Fire 3 would be Ben's Tarawa Saipan expansion,
which you
would be an expansion for FOF.
You'd be in control of, yes. You guys will be in control of. Good.
Yeah. So that's we're waiting to hear from Ben at what stage that's at, but obviously he's got a lot going on with his day job. So we'll see where we are. But if we don't do that, then we got after that we're doing Fields of Fire 2 Deluxe. Yeah. So
you're going to redo it.
That'll be a full standalone volume with the training manuals and the 3 Pelelu way. And
you're not doing a thing
Joseph.
like you did with the Deluxe. If you had version 2, you could buy the upgrade.
Yeah, we'll probably put out an update kit as well for people who own the original Fields of Fire 2. And then there's a lot of crossover with Fields of Fire 2. So one thought was that it could just be an expansion pack for Fields of Fire Deluxe, and also an upgrade pack for people with Fields of Fire 2. So we'll see.
The Deluxe becomes a bit of a misnomer at some point because everything we're doing now is the Deluxe standard.
Yes.
And then it's going to become a bit complicated when we have Volume 2 Deluxe, and because the one that was Deluxe is actually Volume 1, and so I think we need to almost drop Deluxe.
It does say Volume 1
you've
on
done
the
it
side.
with Volume 1, haven't you? That was the Deluxe version.
Mm-hmm.
It does say Deluxe Edition Volume 1 on it, luckily.
Yeah.
Small letters on the side.
Then there were other bits and pieces around. We've got there were other bits and pieces around.
We've had this discussion with Colin. It's like, lots going on, lots going on.
The potential's there for a lot of different things. It's just kind of narrowing down, but the Burma sounds interesting. Definitely, Andrew. That definitely is.
Are we doing a science fiction Fields of Fire?
No,
because I'm a great science fiction gamer.
If you can show me the history book, we can base it on.
Category solos holding out the super premium and edition anniversary edition.
Silver plated. But I'm glad that I can now use my Volume 2 after we've sorted that out with the standard rules. I know the scenarios need tweaking, but I could go. I can get it open, and it's over there.
I have a rough draft of retweaked Pelelu and Chosin, which I've played through both, and they both work, and all the tables work, and it's so when we get all that done, that'll be good. Looking.
Mind you, I've got enough to be getting on with
because they're great campaigns. They again, it's a shame that people bounced off it because it was a bit of a cliff learning part.
But it's so different with the it's a bit like the Decision Games D-Day games series where you're trying to get onto the beach before you actually do anything, and then you've got tanks firing at you.
But obviously in our deluxe version we'll have a very nice walkthrough, playthrough, follow along. This is how amphibious warfare works, because in the original version it was just
a bit iffy.
There's some rules on amphibious stuff. Off you go.
It's a bit iffy.
And in fact, if we do Tarawa Saipan next, we'll probably put up the amphibious landing field manual on the website, so you can download a pre-version of it and learn about how to set up your troops.
Very cool.
It's very interesting, actually. Tarawa Saipan in the very early versions we looked at. It's you can see the development from 1943 to 1944. It's like, here's us trial and error. Let's try and approach with some boats and see what happens, and with all the wrong equipment. And then the next year in Saipan, it's okay. Now we got it right. So it's a bit like Falcons in that respect. Let's see if this works. Yeah, no, let's never do that again. And, and then wireless rig to get it right. So that sort of development is very important. Burma again. There's
I'm looking forward to that
42
because
to 44. Huge developments. Just
there's not a huge amount of games on that, is there? So
there's two that I can think of. One's an OCS game. There's the OCS Burma, and then there's another like magazine game that came out that was Burma,
but not tactical. Get down,
not tactical.
There are some ASL scenarios in Burma.
Well, the problem with ASL scenarios is they use the geomorphic boards, and so sometimes it's it's a little. Yeah, this is kind of Burma. You're using the right troops, but the geomorphic boards aren't always as like you guys can make, even though you have random cards in some cases, and I know like Way and Arnhem, they have like maps, some of them, but there's still, you can set it up like we did Heartbreak Ridge, where you're like, okay, you got to put hills here, but the terrain on the hills could be different.
Tweez thinks that's just a slog. There's a hill. Oh, gold, there's another hill. Oh, gold, there's another hill. So
the guys
that was what it was.
I think, Nate, after about 3 minutes playing it with the cards, you'll just look at it as a map. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's just.
And just know that next time you play the game, it's a different map. Like you get different maps every time you play. So,
which you don't get with a printed hex and counter map sometimes. It's a different. Oh dear, it's not the same as before. I've got to work out where my objectives are and which way's best to go, because there's a bloody forest there.
Would you go into our flipping narrative games
the other day? So again,
did you go into our flipping Arnhem cards?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a set map, but it is still different each time you play it because the map.
Because certain ones will turn over that didn't before, sort of thing. Yeah.
Colin, were you saying you had watched a stream about narrative games recently?
Yeah, and was that 2 ago you did or something? And I was
going to say, we did about it was about twice ago we did that, but that was like a month and a half
some of the
ago.
narratives so far checked out. They're amazing. The stories are, it tells a good story every mission.
It's up to the person playing it how they work it out in their head, the story, and in my opinion, it's very narrative because you're sending out little, assault units and things.
And if you go, I don't know the proportion of people who just play individual missions and never play a whole campaign, but the whole campaign thing is, makes the game even better, because you get to know your company, and you do get attached to a particular platoon, and then gets wiped out in the next.
Again, some people just say, "I like this scenario. I'm going to play it over and over again because it's different every blooming time."
Yeah, it's very compelling that you can continue on, and it's not just a one-off.
That's the problem. I use Plexi as well, and they're also sleeved, but that's me.
I only sleeve the action deck because
I know. I sleeve every
bloody time.
You know the solution, right? You've got to buy 2 boxes.
The monkey said, "I'm a sleever." So
you got to buy 2 boxes, Ruff, and you have one, the good city under the Plexi, and then at your other box you bought, you turn the card over and lay it on top of the Plexi.
Yeah, I could do that. Couldn't I? Yeah. No, I've got to lift the bloody Plexi up. Put it down. No, I'll get round it somehow.
Maybe we'll make an Arnhem map, neoprene mat. That
would be good. That would be good. And
you'd still have to put your ruined buildings on top of it, but when they flip over, it'd work, I think.
That would be
Somebody actually did, and he says he uses a big neoprene mat.
Right.
I do too.
Yeah, it's good because the cards don't slip on it. It's pretty nice.
That's one of the reasons I use Plexi is to stop the slippy slide.
Yeah.
But if you get a big neoprene mat, takes care of it. I use that one for everything. So,
what are the problems with
Yes, my own worst enemy says, sleeve your cards. The Monkey's song, yes, I'm a sleever. Yeah.
Sleeving cards definitely works. I sleeve my action deck, and it's been on my table in front of me for the past 6 years. And,
my idea is
every day.
That GMT cards aren't like playing cards, like poker cards. they will wear out. And I spent a lot of money on my games, so I sleeve the things. I know it's extra money, but they're sleeved. That's it. They're going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
Counters, on the other hand,
he makes stop signs out of his
sleeved counters.
Sleeve counters.
Yeah, well, I do use coin capsules for larger counters. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sort of anal about doing stuff. So
yeah, definitely sleeve the action deck.
Yeah,
that one's like a guarantee. But so the biggest issue that I have with Fields of Fire is the footprint after you get started. It can expand. It can expand dramatically.
Because you set your cards up and then you put them near the edge of the table, and then suddenly, longest line of sight, you have to
very long. You're going 3 cards out, and you're like,
you just hope you don't pick a hill. That's
because the enemy aren't working to your plan. You see, they didn't know that was the battlefield you wanted to fight on. They're over there.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But you think, oh bugger, I've got to move everything down again. So.
Well, Ruff and Tony, do you know we are past 2 hours?
I know. I just saw that. I looked at that. I was like, what?
Right.
So
I know, Coy.
We could do another 2 hours, I'm sure.
Oh, Tony, are we getting together to play Falklands or Afghanistan or whatever you like?
Yep, definitely Falklands. I want to get into that and show that off, and it'll be fun. So we'll definitely, I'll be in contact. So be prepared for that. Me and Andrew are going to get together.
And when it's nearer the time for release, we'll have you guys back just to promote it a bit more, because I think we need to.
Yep. And Andrew, the nice thing is I'm done with school, so I can do middle of the week, wake up early, stay up late. It doesn't really matter anymore because I don't have anything to do during the days. So,
well, if you need us, me
live at 3 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you need me and Nate to control a platoon, let us know. All right.
Yeah, definitely we could do that. That'd be fun.
It's lots of fun. Multiplayer Fields of Fire is always great.
It is fun. We've done it once, and it was a hilarious fun. It was great fun.
So, all right, guys. So we want to thank you, Colin, Andrew. Thank you so much, Andrew. Especially thank you for waking up early.
Thanks, Andrew. Go back to bed now.
Right.
Right.
He just put a shirt on. He's actually got his jammies on underneath.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aren't we all? Is that not a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing in Japan. Yeah. But I tell you
what,
guys,
we really want to thank you guys.
When we click off, don't disappear. Just to say thank you. Just stay online. But thank you, everyone. We had about 50 odd people watching us tonight, so that's wonderful. Yeah, if we can get somebody to buy the game and to give it a go, don't be frightened by it. It's made very user friendly now with the tutorials and everything. So yeah, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But thank you guys, and as always, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
All right, guys. See you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.